welcome to today's video. My name is Florence Ndongo, and today I'm more than glad to be joined by Grace Gitaka, the founder of Wholistic Caring and Counseling Center. After closing down in 2019, the center has reopened with a renewed focus of supporting girls in pregnancy crisis. Madam Grace, thank you so much for having us today. We'll start from the beginning, looking back to 1994, when you initially opened the center. What were the core societal issues that led you to actually open up this center?
Thank you, Florence. Thank you for this interview. When I opened the center in 1994 because I had worked in another institution called Crisis Pregnancy. And while I was working there was a desperate need for housing for women and girls in crisis. And that was the reason why I opened Holistic Caring and Counseling, to address a need that was there for rehabilitation for those girls who were pregnant at that time. Because that's something I had done for 5 years, and I had realized the real need was that those girls wanted to keep their babies, but they needed a place to stay. So that's the reason why I started Holistic Caring and Counseling Center.
Very impressive. And for a whole 25 years, what would you say is some of the significant impact that the center realized in the 25 years of existence?
Okay, one of the impacts, of course, was that those girls that needed a place to stay and they wanted to keep their babies, we housed them for those 25 years, for each girl according to her need, and depending on her issue, the time of their stay was determined by where they have come from and why they needed their rehabilitation, for a short time or for a long time. But the important part was that they were able to keep their babies, and they were able to start up something to generate income, to be able to bring up their child safely, either by themselves or by going back to their parents or relatives and continue taking care of their babies.
Okay. Before halting operations in 2019, let's now talk about that 2019. What would you say are the significant factors that made continuing impossible at that particular time?
Okay, in 2019, of course, when the pandemic came, we, of course, we had, the issues that were going on. The movement was not possible. People couldn't come to our center. And for almost a year, obviously, people are like not traveling back and forth. So to get girls or women to come to our center was difficult at that time. But then after, of course, after the doors opened for life to continue, we, of course, had become financially unstable because, of course, the COVID thing wiped out the little finances that we had. And then we were not able to continue because I also got COVID soon after all that. And of course, energy-wise, I was not able to continue running the center for quite a while, for 2-3 years since after COVID. After 2019. So that's what the difficulties were. Of course, the finances, and two, the clients weren't coming anymore because of the COVID issue. And of course, the staff that I had, I couldn't maintain or keep paying salaries because I was not able to raise funds for the center while the COVID thing was going on.
We are back. The center is reopening. You still have the vigor, the passion to take care of or help rehabilitate girls and women in pregnancy crisis. What maybe personally, or maybe a personal story, or what would you say? Because for most people who are coming back to work, majority of people have not gone back to what they used to do after COVID. They've started other things. But for you personally, why or what has motivated you to come back and reestablish the center once more?
Okay, the truth is that even if I could have done other things, but my passion was obviously to take care of the pregnant girls and women in crisis. And after COVID, and from 2023, I realized there were still issues of women and girls being pregnant. In fact, it was a lot. from even the government surveys and this story. So I realized we needed to continue. And of course, my energy was beginning to come back, and I had to think through my life and to see, do I want to start a totally new life, or do I want to continue with what I was doing? And because the passion was still there, and on and off, I kept getting women coming, even when we had closed down, one on one, like every now and then. So I realized the need was still there, and the passion was still there. So I just decided to do it again and give it a new start and see where we go from there.
Nice. Coming back, you seem to have your focus has now narrowed into women and girls in pregnancy crisis. Before you had other things, because when you take care of women, other things will come up, like they have now the child, and you had to look at to be holistic, like your name says. You are doing so many things other than rehabilitating girls. What has informed your decision to now actually narrow down to just women in pregnancy crisis, other than doing other things like a children's home and other things?
Okay, right now, obviously, as we had talked before, we did have children in our center within those 25 years, yeah? But the government has decided not to continue with the children's homes in different institutions. So for me, the real passion for this institution was actually the pregnant girl and women in crisis. So I decided to go back to where I started, from the word go. And from here, if we continue with doing what we had known to do before, with that, I'll be able to help the women continue to take care of themselves. And of course, especially those who are single mothers, young mothers, my desire is to see them become financially stable. So with that in mind, I have tried to think of other things I can incorporate to help this girl or this woman to be able to take care of herself and her child or children without struggling financially. So we have decided to incorporate table banking for these women, even from the bottom, the lowest of them in the society, teach them how to make money with little things, like small things like making soap. We can teach them how to do small skills that can give them income, like making liquid soap, and then they can go and sell and make money, or small other things like making food. Like these days, there's a lot of food being made on the streets, and most of these young women can actually make good food, like chapatis and all that. So we are trying to see what they can do to bring up their child without too much strain and stress, and not having to depend on who knows who to raise up their child. Yeah. So that's where we are starting afresh.
And you have a lot of experience in dealing with this particular vulnerable group. I know you know most of their challenges. What gap would you say you want to fill at this particular time that perhaps you feel was not taken care of adequately previously, and now perhaps you want to do it even much better?
I would say really it's that issue of them. There are too many single mothers, young single mothers, yeah, in the actually 25 and under. That would be my focus mainly. That this 25-year-old and under, who one doesn't have a source of consistent source of income, I would want to help them come up with ways of getting their own money without depending on a man to give them money, or even getting into prostitution to make money to bring up a child, you know. So that's the gap I feel that is there, because with COVID, most people lost many things, and even jobs are not available, as we all know. So creating one's own job can help them to be able to be self-sustained and yet enjoy life and take care of their child effectively.
Well, I admit you are doing a very good job restarting, and I know there are some things. Even if you have a lot of experience, I know there are some issues that will still maybe need support. But in terms of restarting at the center, what would you say are some of the biggest, maybe operational, financial, or community trust challenges you faced in restarting the center, especially now post pandemic?
Okay, right now, of course, with having closed for a number of years from 2019 until now, some of the people who knew us thought we have completely closed down. So people have kind of forgotten us.
Yeah.
So we have to do a lot of social work activities like getting to the community, telling them again that we are around. So that's needs support in terms of staff, and we need obviously it involves money. So I need to be able to recruit other staff because obviously the ones who worked for us before have left and gone elsewhere. So we need workers, and those kind of workers obviously would be counselors, social worker, and people who have a passion for the community who would be willing to go out there and let the community know that we are available again, and then we can be able to address the issues they have once again.
So when we come to the center, what and what are we going to find? What services will be here? I know there's counseling, there's stable banking. What else are we going to find in the center?
Skills training, basic, very basic skills training, which involve handcraft things. Anything that you can do with your hands, obviously, is the kind of skill that we are going to teach them that can generate for them income.
What will success, or does success look for this center 5 years from now? For you to say, I've really achieved what I needed to achieve in a span maybe of 5 years, what does success look for you?
Okay, I would say a success in this case would mean helping any number of women or girls to become financially stable, because that's a real big deal. Like, we are a counseling center, yes, but counseling issues, you can give somebody counseling, but if you've not empowered them financially, they still have issues, because money obviously is what will make some of the issues they have to be taken care of. So as much as we want to give them counseling, for me, I would feel taking care of their real issues is the need that we want to address. And so depending on between these 5 years, for me, I would want our community to be a better place in this neighborhood. That if there's truly a single young lady who needs help, especially young single mother, that they have gotten the help they need. That for me will be success. And it doesn't matter how many. They could be 10, they could be 2, they could be 100. Helping one person come out of their real issue, that's a success. It doesn't matter how many they will be. But of course, for me, the many, the better.
You know, in that 2019, around 2019, during that COVID time, our children were at home and statistics were very, very bad. Actually, when you closed down is when you were needed the most.
Yes.
Because statistics showed that that time, the girls as young as 13 got impregnated. And sorry to say, the boda guys were taking the blame. And we did that, especially our news all over was talking about that particular issue. How do we, as a society, ensure that we lessen that burden, that we actually don't even have young mothers or teenage pregnancy? Because at the end of the day, you're solving a problem because someone somewhere is messing up. Someone is creating that problem, and you have to carry the weight of the entire community on your shoulder. What would be your call, especially because a girl does not get pregnant by themselves? How do we involve the community? How do we involve the male child to protect the girls and not to put them and people like you in such a situation?
Okay, well, first and foremost, I would say empowering the girl child to know that she's important and that money does not define her. You see, because why she gets pregnant is because she's deceived that she'll be given money.
Yeah.
And that money is what she's looking for. So if she can know that she can make her own money and not depend on anyone else to make them financially stable, that's step number one. That's step number one. The other step is to help her value herself, self-esteem, knowing that she's important with or without a man. And that's the big issue about the girl child. We think that we are important when a man tells us that they love us. Okay? But the truth is, if you don't love yourself, even if somebody else tells you they love you, you'll end up knowing sooner or later that they didn't mean what they had said. Okay? So knowing, helping her, educating the girl child to know that life values do not depend on what another person says about you. What is important is to know what God says about you and what you say about yourself. Yeah. So being able to value yourself and not to place your value in terms of money.
Very, very, very impressive there. Hopefully, this situation gets to be solved from the community level. But as Holistic, will you be maybe collaborating with, let's say, schools, so that even when they close school and they come to the community, they already value themselves, and a man will not cheat you and impregnate you? Will you be working with schools and maybe other stakeholders that maybe bring children together?
Yeah, one good question. Um, when I started Holistic, the main, in that 1994, the main things I did was to go to schools and colleges and teach them about value, self-value, and how to be able to stand up for your values and be able to say no to, of course, sex outside of marriage and all that. And then I worked with this, of course, with churches and schools and with the communities. So we are going to do the same. We are going to go to the schools and we are going to go to colleges and wherever we can be able to talk to the students. I mean, not just the girls, to the students, and let them know how valuable knowing yourself and valuing yourself is more important than anyone else valuing you. And of course, you said the boy child. The boy child, we need to educate the boy child that you're not mature because you've slept with 10 girls or however many girls. You are mature because you value yourself and you know what a girl is to you and what God has created the girl child and the boy child to be in society. People, as long as people don't know themselves, they will do what everybody else tells them to do. But once we know where we've come from and what God expects of us, then that makes our value. And that is the most important thing one can know in life. And for me, I'm very passionate about teaching that to both the boy child and the girl child.
There is a new challenge I feel Holistic and other centers like yours are going to be facing: the internet. Let me tell you, you go to places like TikTok, you need to, you are fighting the vice. You go to TikTok and girls are there shaking and they're influencing even young girls. Some are showing that because I shake, show off my body, that's how I got money. And young girls are actually seeing this as a way to a higher, or what they call a better life. How are you going to tackle this issue? Because the internet is all over. Smartphones, people can afford smartphones right now. And the issue is much, much way bigger, because these young girls, when they do those things online, they are going viral. And other young girls, or even younger than them, they think this is the right way. If I need to make money quickly without even education, all I need to do is undress and do all those things. How are you going to tackle the internet?
I would hopefully, by the videos that we are going to take and what we are going to do and talk, I'm trusting that we'll be able to reach out to these girls and tell them that parading your body to make money is just like parading fruits, and fruits rot. So as you parade yourself, there will come a time when that body will not, nobody will even want to look at it, because most people in their, at the background of their mind, they don't like that which you showed, that which you are displaying. They prefer what they haven't seen. And when a man looks for a girl to marry, he'll not look for the girl that he saw on TikTok. He will look for a girl who didn't open their bodies to them, because they want that which has not been shown. Okay, that's a human nature. So I would hopefully be able to let the girl child know what you hide. It's what is most valuable to whoever is looking for a good wife. And if you eventually want to be a wife, that's what you want to protect. If you want to make money, you'll get money, but you don't know what you'll get out of that. You'll get the money, but you can also get diseases and many other things that could happen to you. Yeah.
All right. Looking forward to see this new journey. Looking forward to collaborating and seeing where this leads. But I know it leads to a better place. I know it leads to a better society. And maybe my appeal would be to other people who share the same vision with Grace, the founder of Holistic Caring and Counseling Center. I can tell you for free, she has done an amazing job in the last 25 years. And just few years of closure, we can see what has happened in our society. So if you're out there, you can reach out to Grace, reach out to us, and you can reach out to Grace. You can visit Holistic Caring and Counseling Center and see what they are doing and see how we can collaborate to ensure that this work continues, because it's a good work. Thank you for watching. You'll be hearing more of Grace. She will be getting into the spaces also in the social media platforms. So keep it right here and like all their social media platforms at Holistic Caring and Counseling Center. Thank you for watching and see you around.